Dave, was it pretty good to get some runs and it seemed like pretty tough conditions? But
Yeah, look, I think it was just great for more mentality. I think to go out there and switch from white ball to red ball, and you probably couldn't have asked for any more exciting conditions. It was quite challenging. You're not expecting a wicket to go up, down, and sideways and swing. So you had 5 sort of different elements there to deal with, and I thought it was a great hit out for myself personally. I think a lot of the otit guys as well. It just puts it in the back of your mind that it's not going to be easy, and you have to try and find a way to score. And we spoke about this morning. You have to credit the bowlers. They bowled fantastic. Obviously they had 4 quicks and an all-rounder who bowls quick as well. So, your slight variations of trying to wear a couple of bowlers down, you've always got fresh guys there. So that's the good thing about, or the luxury about, these sort of games, is that you can prepare under the hardest conditions. And I felt that you probably won't get any better practice than this leading into that first test.
Are you getting excited too? You're 7 days out from a return to Test cricket. Was there a bit of that in your batting? That's why you wanted to stay out there for as long as you possibly could, because it's 7 days away and you're back in Test cricket?
Yeah, and I just don't want to go into the nets and face the other guys at 150 kilometres an hour. That's why you try and make the most of it out there. You try and prepare as well as you can, and you're going to have to scrap for some runs, and you have to have fast feet, you have to have energy in your feet, and I felt today was much better for me personally, and a lot of the other guys, the intent there from bangers was good as well. So we saw who else was in the first innings, Marnus as well. So he played very well, and I haven't seen much of him playing this format, and scored a lot of runs in county cricket, and he showed just there, if you play the line, and you're playing miss, so be it, but he climbed into it when he needed to, and put it away when he needed to. So it was great.
Are you looking forward to seeing Pattinson and Cummins go up against England? You guys would have become aware of what happened at Lord's today, I suppose, during the day?
Oh, I heard the umpire saying there was 6 or 7, and then they were all out, I think, for, what was it?
85.
85. That happens in cricket, doesn't it? We've been on that end of it as well. So, look, I think it's exciting. Facing Pato out there, I haven't faced him in a long time. Obviously, he's overcome those injuries which were niggling and affecting him mentally. And it's great to see him come out and bowl the way he has done in the county stuff and the one-day stuff, and to face him there, it's exciting for us. Put the ball in the right areas. Played and missed a lot. A lot of the bowlers early have done that out here, but Pato's length and line was impeccable, and I found him very challenging to face, but I didn't face him until 16th or 17th over. So Harry said he bowled with good gas and was taking the ball away from him, which was nice. So yeah.
Were you happy with your last Ashes tour, David? And were there things you had to learn? Because you didn't get to 3 figures, did you? But you got a lot of starts. You get runs in England, but I don't think you've got a century here.
No, I haven't got 100. I think when I look back and reflect on how I've played over here, I've fought hard. In the first innings, I think besides one dismissal, I got some pretty good balls, and that's what happens in this game. And you've got to try and forget about that and don't overthink it. I know the Lord's Test, I was a bit upset. I missed out with 80, and the other boy got 200. So they're always in the back of your mind. But now it's just a bit more hungrier and determined to play that longer innings. And I think you saw that during the white ball, that I hung in there a lot. The old me probably would have thrown the bat at it quite often. And today that was all I was focusing on, was making sure that my feet and my decision making was on point. So as I said, look, I was happy with that, but I've got to try and get those 3 figures.
Are you enjoying scrapping? You mentioned the World Cup, you had to fight hard, and obviously that was a hard fight. Are you enjoying that? Because obviously it's not something we associate with you.
Yeah, look, I spoke about this before the World Cup. Playing grade cricket at home helped me a lot with patience and having the weight to score. The fields they set was very obscure. There was no pace on the ball, regulation balls, and they had deep point, which was like 10 in front, and it's very unusual. And I asked the guys at the other end, how am I going to get behind point, and I just couldn't. So I had to scrap, and I really enjoyed that, and it made me wait for the ball, as I said, and I had to scrap for those runs. And I've sort of adapted that out here with that white ball, and then, as I said, it was quite challenging, and I just had to sort of find a way to, as Bucky always said to me at the other end, to try and find, even if it's inside edge, you've got to take that as like a boundary and a compliment. It's going to be very tough. So I've always got that in the back of my mind.
Was the pitch good enough? Was the pitch good enough for a 4-day game here?
Oh, look, the efforts that have been put in to get us on here. I know there was rain affected the other day, and There's little things like, this getting us on here is great. Credit goes to the staff that are here and allowing us to come and play it. And at the end of the day, they had no rain here, so it's been quite difficult. And there was live grass, and it's just, it's hard underneath. But we saw with the one-day preparation that we played against England here as well, the wicket was, if not similar. Some were shooting and some were taking off. So we can only deal with what we're given. And, as I said, credit to them for actually getting us on.
It looked like there was a bit of a team chat, the two batting groups before you went out there today. Can you share what that was about? And was that specifically about this or something broader about the upcoming series?
It was just more about assessing how we all went and how we felt. People just throwing up some ideas, and each individual, there was probably 3 or 4 of us that just spoke about what our plans were and how we're trying to score on that wicket. And we just simply broke it down to what I just said. You had to be scrappy. You had to move your feet. You had to commit forward or commit back. And you saw a couple of LBWs there, guys caught on the crease. So they're things that we were speaking about not to try and do. And you just got to have to keep working harder at that, because it's challenging on a wicket like that. It's hard to commit forward, especially when I got one to go over my head. And then I went to drive one, but I wasn't out there, and I could have been caught at gully. But they're the things that are always in your mind on a wicket like that. But you just got to remain positive.
Dave, was that some of that training stuff that you talked about during the World Cup in terms of, headphones in when you're batting and working on tempo, was that a little bit to do with, I suppose, calmness and patience for the Ashes coming up and playing those long innings? Yeah,
definitely. And that's probably why I had Lewis Capaldi on my playlist. Just, a bit mellow and, you never heard that song? Come on. No, I don't sing. But for me, it's about, just relaxing when I'm out there. And I'm always relaxed, but I think just at training, you try different things. And for me, it's working, and I enjoy that. And the other guys kind of laugh at me and stuff, but that's what it is, and that's how I'm trying to train and get myself ready.
Is that a new thing, the headphones?
I did it at home, while I had the time off, and I really enjoyed it. I go running with the headphones in, and it makes me feel like I don't want to stop after a kilometre in.
Dave, do you have any thoughts on the other openers who were here and who you might open with next week in Birmingham, and how they all went? Or it was pretty tough for everyone, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, it's a hard question for me to answer. That's probably more to the coach and selectors. But I feel like they're all moving well. They're looking sharp. They've got weight of runs behind them, and at the end of the day, it could be about combinations. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure going out there and giving it our best, we'll all do that pending selection. So look, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow as well. I think it might be a big innings there.
David, Cameron Bancroft, how impressed have you been with him sort of returning to the fold for the first time, I suppose, this afternoon, in those sort of conditions that you've been talking about?
Yeah, look, you know what he's like. He scraps away. He's very good at that, and we saw the way he did play. They had a good intent. He was moving his feet forward, and then committing to the back. So standing at one, I was actually saying this yesterday, I get to see a lot of the guys' technique from behind the stumps, and everyone is scrapping as hard. But I know the bowlers were saying with him, when we put in our areas, you feel like you're going to nick off a lot of the guys, and for the guys that have actually had that attention to detail and adapt, they've done very well.
Dave, why are you standing at first?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go out in the field yet. I don't want to run around, save my energy.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'd save my legs.
David, like the adjustments people speak about when you come to England, on paper they seem pretty straightforward, like play it late, get within the line of the ball. But why does it take batsmen to adjust why does it take it so long to get adjusted when they come here?
Well, it's like saying why do bowlers take so long to adjust to bowling lengths in Australia? Like, it's the same thing. Like, each country goes different. It's like us going to India and playing spin bowling, or our spinners going there and trying to spin the ball. Every different scenario you can throw at anything, but it just takes time. You're not used to it. We're facing Duke balls at home now, which is great. Otherwise, you come here every 4 years and use a swinging ball, face a swinging ball. So we're trying to replicate that as much as we can at home, and that's a great initiative that we're doing that. I think it's great practice, and it holds us in good stead for this. But I can't answer that question anymore.